right, welcome to Acropolis Comic Corner. This is Brad. This is Techno Tony.
Dude, no nicknames.
You got one.
Techno?
Techno. Because
stupid.
Iron Man. You know.
All right.
Okay, so we're taking that. Brad don't like Deadpool. He likes Deadpool.
Well, I don't. It's not that I don't like Deadpool.
Okay, then what is it about Deadpool that you don't?
It's
like?
nothing really. It's nothing really concerning Deadpool. It's now he's a fad, and I hate it
I agree.
because all these people who say, "Oh, I love Deadpool," have never picked up a comic book in their life and have never read it.
So do you like Deadpool?
Yeah, I think he's cool.
All right, what do you know about his backstory?
Not a whole lot. I know.
So
he
you're
would-
jumping on the fad?
No, not at all. I'm not walking around in Deadpool apparel, walking around like, oh, I can't wait for the new Deadpool movie. I love Deadpool. Like, yeah, he's cool. I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm going to go see the movie, but I don't know.
That's the whole point, though.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, like, I'm not walking around in Deadpool gear. and
Exactly,
shit,
you're fine.
But I'm a huge fan of Deadpool.
Okay.
But I don't think just because he's coming out with a movie means that you're starting a fad.
No.
It's not like-
The fad has been around long before the movie.
He's talking about the douchebags that wear the fucking t-shirts and the hats and.
Yeah,
all
but
that
that's
other
not
stuff.
just Deadpool. You just don't like fads.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. But my problem with problem with it as a whole is people. Okay, so people like in superheroes and the whole comic book thing. It's viewed as uncool and nerdy. But now, for some reason, you get all these like all these people look at these superheroes, and like I don't know.
It's cool now.
Well, it's not that it's not that it's not, but it's not all of it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it's the same thing as people who wear like Batman shirts or Superman shirts, but really have no idea what's going on with Batman.
Exactly,
If you-
and I have a problem with that as well.
Yeah, if you try to talk to them about it, like, oh, hey, man, I see you're wearing a Batman shirt, and you happen to be a comic reader, and you're talking about it, and then they're just kind of looking at you like you're a fucking idiot.
Exactly, because they have no idea.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
there's-
not just Deadpool. It's
but
the whole
there's
thing as a spectrum.
way
Deadpool
more-
is just the biggest one.
There's way more mediums that a lot of these characters are in than just comic books.
Movies, yeah.
And
Movies.
cartoons and
Oh,
books and it's not just comic books.
yeah, I know, but comic books is where it originated from, and that's where most of the story's at anyway. Cartoons, yeah, I
Right.
could see because the old X-Men cartoons were really good. I watched them when I was a kid.
Batman's another one that's
Yep.
a very good example.
Yep, Batman as well. But I don't know.
He hates Deadpool.
No,
I don't know. I don't hate Deadpool.
I completely understand what you're saying. Completely understand it. It's like, man, you're what I would call a term is a poser.
Yeah,
You're a
exactly.
fucking poser. All right, you're wearing the shirt around, and
You have no idea what it is.
yeah, and you picked it out yourself probably.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of doing movies and doing the cross media stuff. I mean, Marvel wants people to be fans and buy this stuff.
Well, yeah, of course.
So-
Who doesn't want money?
But it's not just money. Do you think the writers of the Deadpool series aren't happy every time somebody buys a fucking Deadpool shirt advertising their stuff?
Because they're getting paid. I mean,
It's
indirectly.
it's more than just about being paid. It's
Oh man, it's about getting paid.
I didn't say
about
it wasn't
getting paid.
about getting paid. I said it's about getting more than just getting paid. God, you both are like super negative.
It's
I don't know
about
why anybody's gonna watch
Face
this
it, it's about getting paid. It's about getting paid. I
I mean-
look at what Marvel does when you order. Like, okay, you guys probably you don't know this concept of it, but like when I order comics, and I order comics from Marvel, Marvel will make you order one, or you have to get this variant. You can only get one variant of this comic, but you have to order 25 of them in order to get it. Or you have to order 50 or 100 just to get one variant, and that's to make it so that it's worth money. And Marvel is all about getting paid, man.
I'm not arguing that, but that's the Marvel Corporation. I'm talking about the artists and writers of the story, the people who are in it for the art of the comic. You don't think that they are happy when somebody picks up a piece of merchandise for
I
them?
think it's like this. It's like this. Okay, take NFL football, and you get drafted to like a crappy team like the Lions. All right, you're probably not going to get paid as much as if you went and played for the Patriots or if you went and played somewhere else. Just like in comic books, if you're an artist or a writer or something, if you get on Deadpool, you know you're set. As long as you do a good job and you're a good artist and you're a good writer, you're getting paid. So yeah, they're going to be happy.
I'm
know what I
not
mean?
saying that it's
then
not
all of a sudden they're
about
like-
money,
they're
but
like, oh, hey,
there's
you know-
more to it.
Well,
than
I don't
just
think
money.
the people who are doing it just for the art, I don't think they're stoked if someone goes buys like a Deadpool jacket or something.
I guess we'll never
Because
know.
what did they have to do with that jacket or with that T-shirt? Not a whole lot.
Well-
because if they're an artist, they're probably writing in the comic books. They're drawing
Yeah,
the
but
pictures.
artists and
So they
and
don't-
writers are two different aspects from comic books. They're like the parents of the comic book. So yeah, that artist actually did design that logo or that outfit or the character.
And Deadpool's outfit hasn't really changed much since.
No, it really hasn't.
No, I don't think
not
it
at
has.
all, really.
They just had pouches and shit.
So, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's all about getting paid. That's the bottom line. I mean, when you order from DC, they have their variant covers. Very rarely do they do the 1 in 25s and the 1 in 50s.
Do you know why? Because they fucking pepper their entire book with ads. They're getting paid too,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
okay.
taking it out at the reader's expense.
Yeah, but their stories are a heck of a lot better, I think, in some ways.
Sometimes they
A lot
are
of the
pretty good.
times.
I really like the Flash book.
Yeah, Batman's cool. But I mean, their stories are just all around better, and the universe is more. Just like you were telling me today about Power Man and Iron Fist, and how
Yeah.
Power Man is in the Avengers, but he's in this and he's in that, and it's like, how is all the continuity going to come together?
Right.
It's just about getting paid, man. It's just about putting it up there.
That's why they have 5 Avengers titles, just to have that name on there because of the movies.
Yeah, sure. And the movies, I think the Marvel movies are starting to do way better than the DC movies, right? But I do get a Deadpool shirt for you.
I'm not gonna wear it.
It'll upset me.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna disappoint my mother.
Did she buy it for me?
We went out together and shopped for bread.
Of course.
We were kind of hoping that you'd really like it.
See, I would wear it if I liked Deadpool that much and if I read the comic books and stuff like that. But I'm just not.
Yeah, I see quite a few people running around with Deadpool shirts. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
It's like the stuff just like all of a sudden became cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I have it because of all the movies and all the hype. And
You
that's
know-
why I have such a huge problem with it. It's just because like
and it's
you had
fun-
no idea what this was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
But now all of a sudden you think it's the coolest thing ever.
right.
And it's just like,
And it's funny that you say that too, because where I work, I wear superhero shirts.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And I've had a dude. Matter of fact, he was wearing a Deadpool shirt. at work, and
Yes.
this is funny as hell because he comes up to me. He approached me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh man, that's an awesome Spider-Man shirt. Oh man, thanks. Yeah." I was like, "You like Deadpool, man? You read comics?"
Yeah.
No. No.
So
No. Okay, well, it's a sweet Spider-Man shirt. It's a cool Deadpool shirt. What else are we gonna go on here?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, did you have anything else to say? Like, I thought you were gonna come at me with some.
yeah, exactly.
I thought we had to say common interest here, but apparently not. Just clothing line, I guess.
Just superhero clothing line. That's it.
Yeah,
Pretty much every shirt I own is a superhero shirt.
Yeah.
almost for me. Yeah,
My wife hates it.
67% of my wardrobe is superhero shirts. Yeah, but that's about it for that. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about Sheriff of Babylon. This was a comic that I had ordered, and it's really cool. This is about takes place in Baghdad in the Green Zone, and basically keeping it secure and all the ins and outs and all like the little political stuff that had went on with it. It was a really good read. I think it's like a 4-part series, and I think we're coming up on issue 4. So it kind of basically talks about everything that was going down in that and kind of what happened. And it's not a true story. It's just a story. I
Who's
guess about-
the publisher on this?
It's Vertigo.
I've not heard of Vertigo.
Vertigo is kind of like an offshoot of DC. It's like how do you explain it? It's like the more adult version comics, I guess.
Okay.
Vertigo is his own publisher, but I think it's like parent company is DC or whatever, because they always seem to fall in line together.
You know, I was talking to my dad about this too, and like how comic books have steadily evolved with their reader base, and like they're not really meant for small children anymore.
I had the same conversation. Yeah, I've had the
Yeah,
same.
there's always a ton of adult themes, and like even in the animated movies that are coming out. I mean, the Killing Joke is going to be rated R.
Yeah.
You know, like they have some of them. I don't know if over here that are like the Disney XD universe Marvel stuff. Like those are for the kids.
Right.
But titles like this, they're meant for
Right.
like older teens and adults.
One thing that I noticed about all that, I'm actually glad you brought it up. Now it seems like there's more comic books for grown people than there are for kids, and the small percentage like the Disney XD. Disney XD essentially follows the cartoons that are on, and now that now that the adult base is much broader and bigger than it is for kids, like you totally cheated kids out of comic books in a way
Yeah, it's
because
unfortunate.
exactly it's sorry as hell, man, because some of the stuff that they put in there, like kids aren't ready for that stuff.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean? Like
agree.
they don't fully understand
And
it.
we talked about that a few weeks ago with the Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
How kids are petitioning to make Deadpool PG-13.
Yeah, as opposed to being rated R so that they could go watch it. And there you go. I mean, it's for kids. Like, let's not forget. And what really sucks is when I was a kid reading, I'm 35 now. When I was a kid reading, yeah, I wanted it to be as real as possible. I wanted them, everything. And then I grew up. And then I realized, okay, this is for kids. This isn't for us. But the guys who grew up right along with me are now writing and drawing the comics as well, and they just, I hate to say it, didn't grow up. They're like, hey, how can I make this really cool for me? This is the way I wish it could have always been. Well, guess what? You just F the kids out of like a decent story, and you're exposing them. In my opinion, you're exposing them to a lot.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like having more adult themes. And
Yeah, well, I think there
books,
needs to be both. I think you need to have your adult themed comic books to keep the readers who've always been there happy.
Right.
But I think you need to have the stuff for the kids as well, so you can develop new comic book readers.
Right,
Right,
and
right.
Marvel does do that. I don't know if there's any DC titles that are.
DC does do it.
Actually, DC more so than Marvel has
Yes.
shifted more towards the adult audience.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you have all kinds of issues in these comic books now. Like, I remember back in the day when I was reading comic books, they wouldn't even really bring up drugs.
Right.
You could
That was a
read,
major thing.
yeah, like
they
you could read
first time
comic
they
books
did.
from the 80s and 90s, and like very rarely would drugs be brought up. Now, when you read comic books now they have gay superheroes, they have gay
Oh,
weddings.
let's talk
And-
about the gay superheroes.
And not that there's anything wrong with that, that's perfectly fine. But it's like, when you're like, why are we exposing the kids to it so young?
It's such
why
a-
is it important?
It's not. It's so irrelevant. I don't even know why they throw that stuff into
Right.
things like
Yeah,
this.
that's-
It doesn't play any part into the actual story and the content of the book. It doesn't do anything like
That's
that. and I
exactly
don't know
the
why they
problem
do
I
that.
have with it. Like, I will go out there and say I have no problem with gay marriage or anything
Yeah.
like that. But why do I need to know specifically that
Exactly.
Flash's roommate is gay?
Exactly.
It
it's-
doesn't
it's-
matter. If he's
yeah.
gay, that's cool, but just
It's
quit throwing it in our face. It seems
exactly like who cares?
every title DC has out now has to have some support character that's gay. Batgirl's gay. Flash's roommate's gay.
Batgirl's gay?
Or Batwoman.
Batwoman's
Batwoman's gay.
She can't be Batgirl anymore. She's got to be Batwoman.
No, I think
Well,
there's
there's
two
two separate ones.
Oh, okay.
There's a Batgirl and a
Okay.
Batwoman.
I'm not too keen on DC. So.
I mean, I remember when what's his name came out as gay in the Marvel universe. It was the first one.
North Star?
Yeah,
North
and
Star.
that was like a really big event. Like he came out of the closet. Now it's like a normal thing just to see everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm gay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like Iceman is now gay.
Iceman's gay now?
Yeah,
I
in
didn't know that.
Extraordinary X-Men, he came out of the closet. So in that story arc,
so
in the
dumb.
all new X-Men, they bring back the younger kids to the future to try and talk Scott Summers out of being a lunatic. And Iceman realizes that he's gay, the younger Iceman, and he confronts older Iceman and says, "Hey, dude, I'm gay. How come you're not gay?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I am."
So that's how they threw it all in there. And what did that have to do with?
Nothing. Literally nothing. It was like 2 pages of wasted space.
Yeah, like
Cool, you're gay, Iceman. Let's just move on.
And I feel like when as a kid when I was reading comics, you needed somewhere to connect. I mean let's face it. If you read comic books when you were my age, you were a nerd. And now
But
it's
that
okay
was all Spider-Man's entire appeal. That's why he was so popular.
right. And it was just to kind of connect. And I feel like maybe that's why they might be throwing so many gay characters in here and there.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
that's
so
where
that-
you have like the North Star. Like the one guy who came out and said he was gay, it's significant to his character. And then you have those people who can relate to it, who will buy that book
Yeah.
and stand by it.
yeah, that's
But
fine.
why the hell do I care that Spider-Man's boss is gay?
Yeah. Right.
Why do you gotta shove it down my throat?
Who's
Wait.
not Spider-Man's boss anymore?
Oh, he's
Not
not
J.
his
Jonah
boss anymore.
Jameson.
Oh,
J. Jonah Jameson straight. as
That
Spider-Man.
would have been a cool twist.
That would have been, yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been really cool. No, yeah. But yeah, the other big problem I have with, this is the biggest, and I don't care who says what when they see this video and it's posted, but I want to talk about the Midnighter. The Midnighter got bought by DC before he was a part of Wildstorm. And in Wildstorm, when he was initially created, he was gay and he was married to Apollo. And it wasn't so it was gay. And the only reason why it was relevant is because those two were superheroes on the same team. And it wasn't thrown in your face about it. It was just they would be laying in bed together or they, whatever, some type of relationship.
that's perfectly fine. There's
That's
nothing
okay.
wrong with it.
Now,
But
in
it's
the
not
new-
like just thrown down your face. Like if
Yeah.
it's, it.
But the new Midnighter comic, this is kind of messed up because he is saying, he is basically sexual assault on his enemies. I'm going to shove the lava rocks up
Oh
your
my
ass.
god!
Remember when you
Yeah,
seen
that was.
And that's just a little ridiculous. Okay, now let's flip the tables around and let's say that villain was a girl. Nobody would have that. That would just be done because it's sexual assault on a female. So what's sexual assault is sexual assault. So why are you even, just because Midnighter's gay and he's doing it to a guy doesn't make it any more
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's
And yeah, so I mean, and it's almost like, to me, it's almost like taking the masculinity away from the villain and giving it to Midnighter, so that way it makes it okay because this villain's not as masculine. You see what I'm saying? You see my point? I think that's just completely retarded.
So yeah, comic book companies, we don't care if they're gay. Stop shoving it down our throat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stop ruining characters with
exactly.
Yeah.
with it.
And as far as heroes becoming black or becoming a girl, I have no problem with that either. I think that's great. Like Captain America becoming black makes perfect
Wilson.
sense. Makes perfect sense. He was the Falcon, Sam Wilson, sidekick to Captain America for years and years and years. Eventually, Captain America has to move on. He can't stay 24 years old forever, however old he was.
But that's what's great about that character is that it doesn't matter that the Falcon was black. It's that he was by Captain America's side for
Yeah,
decades.
exactly.
It made sense that he took it. Whether he was black or white didn't matter.
Yeah.
They just got to stop making a big deal out of all of it. That's
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. Is don't so what?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I've heard people complain oh man, Captain America's black now. That's messed up. And it's like, okay, first off, you just pulled back the covers on how racist you are.
yeah.
You
And-
bigot.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see how if it was a problem if they were changing the whole premise of the entire character and how the previous Captain America never existed.
Yeah.
And how now they're just making him black for whatever reason.
But that's,
But if there's a change of character, if the original Captain America goes do something and they make a new one black, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
he's
There.
actually Sam Wilson.
As long as it's a different character, it's
He's
not,
not,
a big
even
deal.
the first black Captain America either.
Probably not.
No, because
there
they
was
had that
one in the '90s too.
Yeah, oh gosh, what was his name? It wasn't Major Victory.
He's still active too in the Marvel universe. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
he's really young, right?
Yeah.
Bald headed.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Captain
I
Freedom or something.
no.
Like that.
What he was is he was one of the Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
Great grandfather or whatever, or his grandson to one of the Howling Commandos, and I think he took the Infinity Serum. I'm not 100% sure. It was and I like how they're changing all these heroes from male to female, and from white to black or white to whatever
Yeah,
it
like the
was.
Thor book. Dude.
Yeah, like Thor
It's
being
so
a
much
girl.
better now that he's a woman.
it changes it because like she's so flawed. You know, Jane Foster has what, cancer, right? She has cancer, and
But
or
that's
is
a
it
perfect
leukemia?
example.
Is it
No, it's
leukemia?
breast cancer.
It's breast cancer.
But that's a perfect example of what you're talking about because like I never liked Thor books. Never ever bought one in my life. Now that it's a female character, I was curious and I wanted to check it out. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best books that I'm reading right now. But then you still have those bigots out there that are like, I don't want to buy that because Thor's a chick now.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
Thor's been a dude, and in mythology, he was a guy. It was like, well, listen, they based it off of that, yes, but they didn't, like, you know, we don't hear tales of that Thor doing all this right
Yeah.
now, you know what I
Right.
mean?
It's a little different.
And the only other, like, issue I really see with a lot of that is you know, you're changing all these superheroes around to, you know, different sexes or different races or whatever, but let's not make all the villains straight white males. You know what I mean? Let's not vilify them.
Yeah,
terribly
exactly.
much. If you're gonna change
Exactly.
one, change the other.
Well, you know, that brings up another really good point. Back in the '90s, Mystique was a lesbian with Destiny, another one
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Brotherhood
okay.
of Mutants.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
never ever said it straight out in comics because they were terrified to do it.
Right.
You know, and even to this day, they never said that Mystique's gay
Yeah.
because she was a villain, and it's exactly proving your point. Like they don't want to say that about them. They don't want you to relate to villains.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
that's the whole point. Is they're so frightened to make a villain who has this trait that's supposed to be okay, but they're a villain, so they're
It'll
Yeah.
vilify that
exactly
entire-
yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Other than that, I don't really got too much more to say other than what's coming out Wednesday. You guys got anything you want to add on the rant?
Dude, I'm super excited for the Deadpool 25th anniversary.
Yes,
That's
Deadpool
gonna
number
be awesome.
7 will be out February 10th. Got a whole bunch of variant covers coming for that. What else is coming here that I thought was cool? Batman Ninja Turtles 3 of 6 is coming out. Let's see, we got a bunch of other cool stuff here. Oh no, that's not coming out.
Silk 4.
Silk 4. Yep, that's Silk 4. Batman 49, Spider-Gwen 5, Spider-Man Deadpool number 2. Yeah, that was cool. Did you read it?
No, not yet.
That was pretty good.
I've read the first issue.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah, the first issue.
yeah
I'm talking
the
about.
first issue was amazing.
Brian Michael Bendis he's awesome. Let's see what else. We
If
got.
I'm allowed to talk about Deadpool.
No, you're fine. Actually, I had something to say about that earlier. Getting back to the whole Deadpool thing, I had a buddy who was oh, he's still my friend, but I have a friend who he's read Deadpool comics like pretty much his whole life. He's ever since Deadpool was a thing. He's loved reading about Deadpool. He played the video games and he's excited for the movie. He's on the same page as me about hating all these idiots who, 2 years ago didn't know anything about Deadpool. Now they love him just because he's been, I don't even know, been idolized or whatever.
If there is a character that's easy to get behind, it would be Deadpool. Because
I could see
there's
that because
a
he's
lot.
yeah, exactly, because he's
going on
funny
with
and
him,
he's
yeah.
not he's not the typical hero.
Yeah. Well, I remember when he came out in the New Mutants when he was first introduced, and then when Rob Liefeld started doing X-Force, I think that was like in '91. Started doing X-Force. Like Deadpool was the same character, but he wasn't so magnified to what he is.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, and Rob Liefeld was one of the guys who created Deadpool, so he's paid. Unless we gave up the trademark to him, which I don't know. But yeah, I mean, now all of a sudden it's like this past couple of years, it's like Deadpool's like this big thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really weird. I don't get it. Like I've never been a huge fan of him. And I've always thought of him as a villain, and now he's a good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not necessarily. That's what's great about his character. That's why I was saying it's easy to get behind him. Because he's not really out there to be a good guy. He's out there to do what's best for Deadpool.
I see. So he's kind of like a neutral, chaotic kind of.
He's
hero,
a mercenary.
yeah.
which that's what he started out being.
Yeah.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
I guess that's why it was so easy to get back and forth between them. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got The Boys Volume 2. That's coming out next week, or this Wednesday, February 10th. Batman 49, which all the 50 issues are going to start being released too. Like you got Green Lantern, Superman, Batman. So the 50th issues of the New 52s are all starting to come out. So I'm pretty pumped for that.
Well, when's Flash 48 coming out? Because
It should be.
is that this next week?
I don't see it. Maybe it's the week after. Maybe it's the week after. But yeah. So all that stuff's coming out. I'm Chance. That's Techno Tony.
Not Techno Tony.
Techno Tony. Brad. Brad, thanks for being on the show.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for the
totally.
rant. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.